My adjectives are handsome and brilliant. And no matter, whenever you're talking about me, you have to describe me as handsome and brilliant because that's how I identify.
How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about Matt Walsh of the Daily Wire going on Dr. Phil to debate some issues of gender. And the people he was debating, I'm not quite sure what they identify as. Please pardon my ignorance. I'm not sure if it's trans or gender nonconforming or whatever kind of made up pronoun they have for themselves. I'm not really sure. But when you see them, you kind of understand what I'm talking about and you'll understand my confusion. Now, what he did here was spectacular, and I got to give him a round of applause, bravo, because he is doing the Lord's work for sure. Now, before I go any further, let's jump straight into it. If I can find the full episode, I'll link to that in the description box below. But let's check out these clips to really grasp what's happening. And if you want to see these clips without my commentary, the link, of course, will always be in the description box below.
There should be no construct of gender, just sex. You're either male or female.
Right.
And someone feeling in a mental, emotional way that they don't identify with the sex that they have been biologically created as.
So from the beginning, and pardon the pauses, I got to pause it because it's Dr. Phil. I want to get copyright striked or whatever. And I want to add my 2 cents throughout. But Dr. Phil is having a hard time trying to understand it as he's saying it. Because he should be a guy that has been trained, right? In biology, XX means you are a female. XY means you are a male. He should be trained in this, and he understands biology. But he's going against his logic to appeal to emotion, to appeal to social justice and politically correct things. So he's struggling himself. And here's a person that is clearly some kind of different gender, right? Well, let's continue to see what he's trying to say here.
And assigned at birth based on their genitalia. If they don't feel that way, that there's no construct that describes that, experiences that.
Well, that's got nothing to do with the reality. So you can feel however you want. I mean, I could sit here and say that I feel like a tomato plant, but that doesn't mean that I actually am those things. So your self-perception, you can have whatever self-perception you want, but you can't expect me to take part in that self-perception or to take part in this kind of charade, this theatrical production. You don't get your own pronouns, just like you don't get your own prepositions or your own adjectives. You know?
Exactly. I mean, at a certain point, it's like, okay, you have male, female, he, she. It's really simple. As simple as that. The chromosomes ain't going to change. You can feel however you want to feel. If you identify as trans, okay, cool. If you want to dress how you want to dress, you want to appear how you want to appear. If you are a homosexual male or homosexual female, and you have another person that's the same as you, and y'all are both consenting adults, I have nothing to say. That's y'all's business. What am I going to do about that? That's your business. But then when it comes to trying to say, well, I identify as attack helicopter and that's my pronouns, and if you don't call me by that, then there's a problem. That's an actual issue that we got to deal with. And people kind of want to tiptoe around it and not really get down to the core of the problem.
It's like if I were to tell you, my adjectives are handsome and brilliant. And no matter, whenever you're talking about me, you have to describe me as handsome and brilliant because that's how I identify. It makes no sense. You don't get your own pronouns. That's grammar, that's language.
So you think it's a delusion? Someone is self-delusional?
Yeah, I think it's delusion. It could be mental illness. It could be it's a lot of different things. With children, wow. You know, there's also just a basic confusion that all kids have. Like that's why when you hear a parent say, "Oh, my 4-year-old son came to me and said that I'm a girl now."
Let's pause again right there. We're talking about kids. This is why when I was on Jubilee about 2 years ago, almost now, this is why I said a 12-year-old boy should not be able to identify as trans or some kind of other thing. He's 12 years old. He doesn't know what he wants to do. Do you think a 12-year-old boy should be able to call himself transgender? Is that what we're going to do? Do we think that we should have 4- and 5-year-old children on puberty blockers, hormone blockers, because they think at that age they're transgender. You can't even get a tattoo under the age of 18. You know, when I was a little boy, when I was about 4, 5, 6 or whatever, I thought I was a Power Ranger, a Ninja Turtle, an X-Man, all that kind of stuff. Now, what am I going to do? Get bone surgery so I can have claws like Wolverine? My last name is Logan. I'm Logan from X-Men. Okay, I'm Old Man Logan. But I'm 5 years old. I'm 6 years old. How do I know what's really going on with that? Okay, I don't really understand the world around me, let alone myself. So what he's saying right here is on point, but I will continue.
And so that's what I'm gonna raise him as a girl. No, you're a 4-year-old. I have 4 kids. When a 4-year-old boy comes to you and says, "Oh, I'm a girl," here's a good follow-up question. What is a girl? Ask him what he means by that. What do you mean by girl? And when you ask him that, here's what he'll tell you. He will tell you what he really means is that he wants to do some of the things that girls do, like play with the dollhouse, or you know, he likes the color pink. That's fine, play with the dollhouse, but you're still a boy.
Now, I agree with that to a certain extent. I would encourage him to not play with the dollhouse, maybe, but I understand it's like, okay, he's probably not even really, he just wants to do it just because, but he's not in his mind thinking this is going to make me be a girl. He just sees it and wants to play with it, but that doesn't mean that he's gay now. You see what I'm saying? So, and at the same time, if he wants to play with a dollhouse, that does not mean, okay, let's change his gender now and give him all types of drugs and stuff like that to stunt his natural biological development. But there's more. Here's another clip here, and you see the caption. Here's the part on Dr. Phil where I demonstrate that the quote unquote gender experts. So I guess these people on the panel were gender experts. Anyway, cannot even define the word woman or explain what they mean when they use it. Let's continue.
That's a question I would like to throw out to other members of the panel, actually, because just like the 4-year-old can't answer what is a girl. Well, this is one of the problems with this left-wing gender ideology is that no one who espouses it can even tell you what these words mean. It's like, what is a woman?
Well,
can you tell me what a woman is?
no, I can't.
So right there, he proved the point. He's like, you guys don't even really know what it is. These kids don't know what it is. Do you know what it is? Nope, don't know. It's really simple. If you ask me that question, what is a woman? Okay, DNA, chromosomes, XX chromosomes, it means you're a woman. Okay, that's just as simple as that. It's nothing more to it. Of course, there's more to being a woman, but once you get down to the core, down to the biology, it's your chromosomes, okay? It's everything that comes with your chromosomes, the experience as a woman, the menstruation, your hormones, your emotions, and your physical stature, everything, you know, all of that. Your emotional nature, that's all part of a woman's experience that a man does not have. Not to the extent that women have it. And we definitely don't have the female organs to be able to produce a baby inside of us. We don't have that because we're not women. But I digress.
Because it's not for me to.
And this person identifies as non-binary transmasculine, making up stuff. You see what I'm saying? You can identify as whatever, but it's like if you try to force that on me and make me play along, is that right? But we'll move on.
Womanhood looks different for everybody.
What do you define a woman as?
An adult human female.
And what does a female mean?
Well,
how
that's
do you define a female?
someone with female reproductive organs.
See, right there you messed up. Because they're going to say, well, what if she doesn't have organs? What if she have hysterectomy? Is she not a woman anymore? The easy answer is XX chromosomes, period. Ain't nothing else to it. Okay, that's all. And then after the chromosomes, what comes with that? The experience as a woman being born a biological woman. That's just what it is. Same thing with the man with XX chromosomes. What comes with a man's experience?
Okay.
Someone who's, here's the thing. When you're female, it goes right down to your bones, your DNA. So that's why if someone dies, we could dig up their bones 100 years from now. We have no idea what they believed in their head, but we can tell what sex they were because it's ingrained in every fiber of their being.
Interesting. So I'm trying to understand. Your definition is that a woman is someone who is female, you said, right?
Correct.
Gotcha.
Is a biological female.
So what happens if we have maybe someone who is female, identifies as a woman, right? Cisgender woman, right? As you just explained. maybe doesn't have the ability to reproduce.
See, I saw that coming because I know how they think. I'm already ahead of what they're trying to do. You see what I'm saying? They were like, well, not all women can have a baby. So that means it's not really a big deal to be a woman. That's not even really relevant because even if a woman is infertile or she had a hysterectomy or whatever the case may be, she can't have children. That does not take away her womanhood. It doesn't take that away. She's still a woman regardless of being able to have kids or not, being past the age of child rearing or not. She's still a woman regardless of what, because of the DNA, the chromosomes is there. Okay, I'm not sure what your pronouns are, boss, but you are a biological male, the same as me. You identify something different, your life is different, you look different, that's fine. But at the end of the day, my bones and your bones are both going to say male, period.
Maybe it doesn't have those organs that you're talking about that are reproductive organs.
I have answered the question. You stood up here and said trans women are women.
Yes.
Tell me what you mean. What is a woman?
Womanhood is something that, just as Ethan explained, I cannot define because I am not
But
myself.
you used the word. So what did you mean when you said trans women are women if you don't know what it means?
Right? So here's the thing. So I do not define what a woman is because I do not identify as a woman. Womanhood is something that is an umbrella term.
See what I'm saying? It's like, that's what I'm saying. I don't even know his pronouns because say, you know what, I'll identify as a woman. So somebody might say, ABL, just call him she. If you see he got, the body or like hair. I don't know what to call this person. I have no idea what's going on with do or do that or whatever they identify as.
It includes people
that describes what?
People who identify as a woman.
Identify as what?
As a woman.
What is that?
Was to each their own. Each woman, each man, each person is going to have a different relation with their own gender identity and define it differently. And so trans women are women too.
Okay.
Applause from the crowd. You see, at a certain point, we're kind of doomed when it comes to certain people. Some people are going to be on Matt Walsh's side, and some are going to be on these individuals' side. Dr. Phil is just trying to not lose all these women, mostly liberal, probably single women behind him that are his support system.
And you want to hold on. You want to reduce.
You won't even tell me what the word means, though. So
you
that's
want to
the
reduce
problem.
women. You want to reduce men down to maybe just their genetics, our genitals, our chromosomes. Right? That's what you're saying.
You want to do is
that's what
you want to do is appropriate women. You want to appropriate womanhood.
Okay.
And turn it into basically a costume that can be worn.
Very well done, Matt. Very, very well done. Round of applause for me. I loved it. Shout out to Matt Walsh from Daily Wire. This is really good. Go to his Twitter page at Matt Walsh blog. Follow him there. Some of the guests, like I think the two people that were on the panel, maybe some other ones, they were talking about how they felt ambushed by the producers and they having nightmares and they can't sleep and all types of stuff. I think that's all bogus because at least one of those people is an influencer. And if you go to Matt Walsh's page, there's photos of him. And I warn you, and if I warn you, it's serious. I warn you, it's kind of weird. Okay, if you took Balky from Perfect Strangers and Six or X-Pac from WWF, WCW, the NWO, if you take those two guys, put them together, and add on some gender bending type stuff, you would get that guy right there. So please be warned. Don't look if you are kind of grossed out. But I think this overall was really good. And this is a problem that I see all over the country. People just don't really know how to address these certain issues. Just treat it with respect. Okay? What is a woman? What is a man? What are we doing here? Okay? You don't get your own pronouns. Because in certain parts of the world, if you don't call them by their preferred pronouns, or you might go to the penitentiary, you might go straight to the who's goo for not saying the right thing. Okay, my pronouns are train smoke. All right, Lil Smoke for short. If you're just referring to me from afar, hey, Lil Smoke, come here. That's my pronouns right there. That's how I identify. And if you don't come up my pronouns, then you go into the joint. You saw the one guy. What he said, trans masculine. What does it even mean? What is that? You're making up stuff. I think at a certain point, we could just say male or female. Go back to the basics. Go back to what we have known for a very long time. And as I close, I'm going to say this. I feel like in a world without problems, people create problems to have some kind of fun and excitement and just some kind of battle to overcome, because we're living in the best times in recorded history. But some people gotta have that conflict to keep them going. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? How do you feel about what Matt Walsh did here on Dr. Phil? Did he do a good job, bad job? Whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. You guys pretty much know where I'm at. He did a fantastic job. Shout out to my man, Matt Walsh, for keeping it all the way real, all the way trill, as a cool kid say. I loved it. This was a great performance. And I want to see more stuff like this. And you know what? I like to see debates between both sides. You know, where it's no feelings involved, ain't nobody trying to get offended. It's all about just putting ideas on the table and seeing which side makes more sense. And I feel like if regular normals are able to see it, rather than just seeing one side of everything from CNN and other alphabet letter organization networks, if they're able to see both sides, then they're able to come to a rational decision. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.